afternoon, and welcome to the first episode of the Spud Kingdom podcast. I am your host, Kevin Woodrome. A lot of you know me as Woody. I know what you're thinking. Didn't you already release an episode? And to that, I say that was a demo episode. Yes, I did release one, but that was to kind of get a feel and give everyone an idea of what to expect. For those of you that haven't heard it yet, the podcast will be dedicated to the Spud Kings and the Spud Kingdom. That would be you guys, the fans. I want to inform on previous week's games, keep up to date on stats and standings, any type of roster movements to address, and anything else that might happen that's Spud King related. I also want to educate the average everyday casual fan on different hockey rules and regulations. Also want to get people hyped for the next upcoming games and possible promotions that might be going on. I have created social media platforms where we can conversate about the Spud Kings and have a place for the Spud Kingdom to feel at home. And I do plan on making this a family-friendly podcast, so you can listen with your kids because I know we have a lot of young Spuds that go to the game, and I want to try to keep it as clean as possible. That way, we can keep this a family-friendly environment for everyone. So, with that being said, let's get to this week's action. So, this past weekend, the Spud Kings hosted the Utah Outliers in a 2-game set. Game 1 was Friday, November 8th, and the game was at the Mountain America Center. It started out real competitive. Both goalies able to deflect shots, no problem. From the beginning, it looked like it was going to be a goalie battle. The Outliers ended up catching a 2-minute penalty for hooking and that's a 5-minute, 18-second mark into the period. This created an opportunity that the Spud Kings couldn't pass up. So at the 6-minute, 43 seconds of the period, so we're almost over with the power play at this point, Andrew Schmidt was finally able to put one home for his 8th on the year. He was assisted on the play by Ronnie Wade, which was his 7th on the year. And the scoring would stall for the most part for almost 10 minutes when the Outliers' Cole Mears tied up the game. The period would end 1-1. So for the most part, very like when I went back and watched the video the next morning after the game, I was in attendance, watched the game, and then I went back and watched the video to catch up and see what maybe I didn't miss or what I did miss. And I saw that the goalies were deflecting shots. Man, this should have been a lot high scoring of a game from both sides, but these two goalies were stopping shots that like there was lots of oohs and ahs from the crowd. Like it was very competitive. So with that, the next period would start as a battle as Utah put up 10 shots on goal and the Spud Kings put up 8. Now these goalies stopped all of these shots except for one. At the 17-minute, 35-second mark into the second, Ronnie Wade scored on the power play for his 3rd on the year, and he was assisted by Andrew Schmidt. There's that Schmidt guy again. His 7th on the year. I guess they wanted to switch roles. Ronnie assisted on the first goal, Andrew assisted on the second goal, and vice versa. So the dreaded, so I get after they switched that, then the period would end 2-1 Spud King. So we were winning at that point. The goal came kind of late in the period. So it was looking very promising and looking good for the most part for the Spud Kings. And then the dreaded 3rd period. Now, all of those that were in attendance and stayed for the whole game know exactly what I was talking about. And any of you that went back and watched the final of the game that you might have missed after leaving on Flow Hockey, you know why I'm calling it the dreaded 3rd period. So when it began, the Spud Kings would get a goal, their 3rd goal, rather quickly at 2 minutes 38 seconds by Michael Hillock. His 3rd on the year, and he had a great assist on the play by Bookie Warshaw for his 7th on the year. Shout out to Bookie for the follow on this podcast already. I mentioned it to him the other night, and he was one of the first players to follow us. So quick shout out to Bookie for that. This period and game seemed like it was in the books around the 3 minutes left mark in the game. We had fans leaving, trying to beat the traffic, in a great mood, smiling, and then it happened. At 17 minutes and 5 seconds into the period, which is 2 minutes and 55 seconds remaining in the game. Nathan Huntington from the Outliers put one past Durkin to give Utah a boost. Minute and a half later, at the 18-minute 34-second mark, yep, that's right, less than 30 seconds left in the game, Braden Hansberger tied up the game and sent it into overtime. It would be 3-3 at the end of regulation, and man, was that like just defeating to the fans and to the Spud Kings. They kicked butt all night long, and then to give up 2 goals with less than 3 minutes to go to tie the game and send it into overtime. Ah, man, that was pretty defeating. But anyway, overtime didn't take very long. It only took 55 seconds for Jensen Cable to end the game and the night for everybody that was left in attendance. The Outliers would end up winning the game, 4-3. This was a rough loss for the Spud Kings, and I could tell after the game when I saw some of the players' faces that it was real rough on them personally. To hold the 3-1 lead all the way to the end and then lose it into overtime like they did, it was so defeating, and you could see it on their faces, and I felt so bad for them at the end of the game. So, with that being said, I didn't even try to talk to any of the players after the game or not because sometimes that's not the best time to get an interview or to approach a player is after a big loss like that. So the game ended 4-3. Charlie Durkin stopped 20 out of his 24 shots on goal. Unfortunately, it wasn't quite enough. So he ended up with his 4th loss on the season. The Spud Kings put 35 shots on goal overall, and that was quite a bit of shots. And their goalie over there for Utah, he was outstanding because he stopped most of those. It was a goalie battle all the way through, and I know the score doesn't show it, but if you go back and watch the film and see some of those saves, you'll know exactly why I say it was a goalie battle. So unfortunately, that's how game 1 ended. Game 2 on the weekend would be the next night, Saturday, November 9th, also at Mountain America Center. This game would be a whole lot different from the night before. I saw some of the players before the game, and I could tell they were ready. Is I saw Charlie Durkin warming up, and I could see in his eyes the focus and determination of not letting the previous night happen. Like this guy, I don't know if you guys have ever met him or had the chance, but before a game, he is the most focused individual ever. And I say after the night before this one, he was even more focused. I've seen him warm up a few times, and I've seen his routine, and he's usually pretty focused. But last Saturday night, whoo boy, he was on a whole nother level. So IF would put up 8 shots in the first period, sinking 2 of those. The first one at 4 minutes 53 seconds into the period, a name that we haven't heard a lot. Name that we have heard a lot here is Andrew Schmidt. He put one in for his 9th on the year, and he was assisted on the play by Easton Edwards for his 10th. Not much would happen again until the 18-minute mark when Andrew Schmidt does it again, gets his 10th on the year. This one was unassisted. The period would end 2-0 with Spud Kings on top. The second period, the Spud Kings would put up 9 shots and sink 2 more of those. And at the 10-minute, 24-second mark, Liam Filip, who we haven't heard a lot from now on the season, not just on this show, because obviously this is the first episode, but in the arena, we haven't heard his name too much. But he gets his first goal of the season and his first goal on the night. And it wouldn't be the last time that we would hear from him, as he would go on to have a huge night. He was assisted on the play by Tyler Atchison for his 6th on the year. Almost 5 minutes later, at 15 minutes, 13 seconds, Liam Filip does it again. He scores a 2nd on the year and his 2nd in the game. He was assisted on the play by the 2 Lucases, Lucas Roner for his 2nd and Lucas Carlson for his 6th. That finished up the scoring in the second as Charlie Durkin stopped all 8 shots in the period. So the score would be 4-0 Spud Kings at the end of the second. The third would be eventful as well. at 4 minutes 13 seconds, Easton Edwards knocks one in for his 6th on the year. He was assisted on the play by Andrew Schmidt, his 8th on the year, and William Strickland for his 3rd on. Utah would answer back finally and get their first goal of the game as they get one past Durkin at 12 minutes 8 seconds mark of the period. It was scored by Tevz Cyber. This would be the only goal for the Outliers on the night, as Durkin almost gets the shutout. Like, he was amazing on the night. I'm telling you, he was focused and he was on another level. But at the 13-minute 48 seconds mark, mama, there's that man again. Liam Filip would get his 3rd on the night for the hat trick, completing his 3rd on the year. And he was assisted by Jonathan Rattikainen for his 4th, and Owen Byer, his first assist on the season. What a great night for Liam, getting his first hat trick on the season and helping the Spud Kings make a statement after Friday night's game. I talked to Liam after the game, and you'll hear that here in a little bit. And he was quite thrilled, honestly. So Durkin stopped 25 out of 26 shots for his 6th win on the season, helping the Spud Kings close out the series on the weekend 1-1. So after the weekend, the Spud Kings still stand in 4th place, 1 point behind Pueblo, 3 points behind Utah, and 4 points behind the first place Ogden Mustangs. Andrew Schmidt leads the team in points with 18 and is 10th in the NCDC, with Easton Edwards only 2 points behind him. Schmidt is also leading the team in goals with 10, and he is 5th in the league in goals as well. Easton Edwards leads the team with 10 assists, with Schmidt closely behind him with 8. Durkin went 1-1 on the weekend, putting him 6 wins, 4 losses on the season. So overall, a pretty good standing against Utah Outliers. They were number 1 before the weekend started. Us beating them on Saturday and Ogden getting the win took them down to number 2. Now, if we could continue this, it would be great. We got big games coming up against Utah again Thursday, and then we got, let's see, who do we have on Friday? Yeah, Friday we have Pueblo, so 2 big games right there. If we can win both of those, and just do what we can to sweep that weekend, that would be huge for us. We might be able to vault 2 spots in the standings, maybe even 3, depending on what happens to the other team. So, big weekend coming up. So, with that all being said, we just got done with the weekend wrap up. Gonna take a small break, and we'll be back right after this. Hey, Spud Kingdom. Are you a local business looking to reach a wider audience? An audience with a similar interest like cheering on our Spud Kings? Partner with the Spud Kingdom podcast and connect with our enthusiastic listeners. Why advertise with us? Our loyal listeners love supporting local businesses. And we can tailor promotions to create custom ads to fit you and your business. We also have a strong community focus here to strengthen ties between you, the local business, and our Spud Kingdom family. Let's work together to showcase what makes your business special. Contact us today to learn more about advertising opportunities. Email me at spudkingdompodcast@gmail.com. That's spudkingdompodcast@gmail.com. That's spudkingdompodcast@gmail.com. The Spud Kingdom Podcast, where businesses and the community grow. And welcome back, Spud Kingdom. So I mentioned actually wanting to do player interviews. This week, I have 2 of those. First, you will hear from Adam Brown, a defenseman from Lincoln, Nebraska. I had the opportunity to speak with Adam a moment after the game, and got to meet his parents a little bit. So this is what Adam had to say. Hey guys, welcome to Spud Kingdom Network. I'm here. We just had a big win tonight, 6-1 against Utah Outliers. That should help us bump up in the rankings a little bit. I'm here with
Adam Brown,
and he's got a few words for us. What's your take on tonight's game, Adam?
After last night, we bounced back really well. We stuck to the system, and it paid off.
I agree. You guys didn't let the comeback tonight, and you shut them down real good. What's the focus for this team heading forward? You guys got to play these guys again on Thursday. So what kind of focus are you going to have to go into that game?
Yeah, just stick to our game, sharpen up a couple things, and we'll get them again next Thursday.
I appreciate you, Adam. Have a good night, man. Okay, I'll go talk to you. Thanks again, Adam, and to his awesome parents who raised a good kid there. The next interview was from the star of the night, Filip from Grafton, Ontario. Liam had a big night getting his first goal on the season and his first hat trick. So without further ado, let's hear from Liam. Take it away.
Great game tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey there, Spud Kingdom. I'm here with Filip tonight. He had a hat trick and a big win, 6-1 against Utah Outliers. Liam, I heard you just talking to the other guy. How does it make you feel to get that hat trick?
It feels amazing. Big 6-1 win for the boys. We got it done on all fronts tonight. Honestly, it's just big for our club, and I think this is going to carry over, and I think we're going to get going here.
Yeah, I'd happen to agree, man. I think this is exactly what you guys needed to get over the hump and to get you back into the race against these strong contenders. Last night, I think, was a fluke. You guys didn't let the comeback tonight. You guys play these guys again on Thursday. What's your motivation or outlook going into that game?
Well, you know they're going to be coming out hard, especially after us beating them 6-1. And we just have to stay disciplined and stick with our systems, and I think we'll be able to get the job done.
I agree. Thanks, Liam, for your time.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Oh, man. Thanks a lot, Liam, for that. I appreciate you meeting with me after the game. Liam does need a little bit of dental work done now, but he was all smiles after that big game. Thanks again to those two gentlemen, and thank you, Eric Hudson, for letting me talk to them. I really appreciate it. The next thing that we are going to talk about is the hockey rule of the week, which we are going to discuss offside. Now, a team is considered offsides when any attacking member precedes the puck over the defending team blue line. Basically, if they get past the defending team blue line before the puck gets there, is considered offside. The position of the player's skate is the determining factor of the offside. If the player still has one skate behind the line, it is not considered offside. Both skates must be across the line. If the puck gets knocked back on offsides, and all the attacking players must cross back over the blue line before advancing the puck again. If they advance the puck with somebody still in the defensive area after the puck has been cleared out of the defensive area, then it's considered offside. So that's our hockey rule of the week. I know that one is irritating to a lot of people because sometimes it doesn't look like they're offside. It's like literally like hair, or that one time in football they used the index card to prove how far away the ball was from the spot of the chain. It's offside is one of those. It can be literally a hairline fraction of the skate leaving. So with that being said, that's offsides. Next up, we will have a fan interview and capture the experience of some of the Spud Kingdom enjoys the game. So I'm going to take a small break, and we will be back for that right after this. Hey, Spud Kingdom. Are you a local business looking to reach a wider audience? An audience with a similar interest like cheering on our Spud Kings? Partner with the Spud Kingdom podcast and connect with our enthusiastic listeners. Why advertise with us? Our loyal listeners love supporting local businesses. And we can tailor promotions to create custom ads to fit you and your business. We also have a strong community focus here to strengthen ties between you, the local business, and our Spud Kingdom family. Let's work together to showcase what makes your business special. Contact us today to learn more about advertising opportunities. Email me at spudkingdompodcast@gmail.com. That's SPUDKINGPODCAST@gmail.com. That's spudkingdompodcast@gmail.com. The Spud Kingdom Podcast, where businesses and the community grow. All right, welcome back, Spud Kingdom. Like, as I promised and I wanted to do for so long, I wanted to have a fan experience interview with the actual fan. So first, I brought one of my close friends onto the show to tell you a little bit about his fandom as a Spud Kings fan. This is, without further ado, one of my best friends in life, Jimmie James II, also known as Dose the Barber. What up, Jimmy?
What up, what up, what up?
First of all, thank you so much for coming on to the show. Appreciate having you here, having an actual fan experience. So first off, how long would you say you've been a hockey fan?
I would say I've been a hockey fan for maybe like 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years. So Spud King's been around. This is their third season. So not long before that. So you didn't really like watch hockey as a kid or anything?
No, absolutely not. Ever.
Ever? Not even Stanley Cup time at that point?
No, never hockey.
Never hockey. All right. So the Spud Kings came along, and would you consider yourself a hockey fan now?
100%.
And that's because we have a team to root for and you've been to games, or like, just tell me a little bit of why you're a hockey fan now.
We have never had something like that in Idaho Falls. I'm born and raised here. And so to have a new team that's rocking our name, our city name, you got to cheer for it. And it's something to do, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, me too. I gotta say, I love the fact that the Spud Kings showed up. It gives us something to do in the wintertime. It's cold around here in these parts.
So cold.
So cold. We get to go indoors for a couple hours and enjoy somebody else playing.
Yes, sir.
I'm in. Not to mention, it's brought a lot of concerts and other events that we can go to.
100%. Shout out.
So, when you go to the games, who do you go with?
I go with everybody. I take my kids, my friends. If people from out of town come to town, then I ask if they want to go to a hockey game, because it's a vibe. It's fun.
Oh, definitely. It's definitely a good time. And it's definitely somewhere to take somebody from out of town that never even been to a game. So you mentioned you go with your kids. What is their outlook of the Spud Kings? Were they hockey fans? Are they hockey fans, or are they just Spud Kings fans?
I would say they're just Spud Kings fans. My kids, like me, they don't watch hockey. We're never into hockey until we went to a Spud Kings game. So I would say they've only been fans since the Spud Kings have been here. And just like me, like I don't really know a lot about hockey. I don't know the rules. I don't know the penalties. I don't know whatever. So, and my kids are in the same boat, but we still go and have fun. They're fun to watch.
So it sounds like you just need to stay tuned to this podcast, because if you didn't know, I am going to be doing a rules segment and a regulation segment this week. Actually, talked about the offsides.
Yeah, I'm locked in.
So you'll get a little bit of experience and a little bit of knowledge just listening, because every week I'm doing that because I also wasn't always a hockey fan. Growing up, I would watch Stanley Cup here and there.
Same.
West Coast, we didn't really have much to cheer for. Most of the stuff started out East. So my friends did play hockey growing up, and I watched them play, and that was kind of cool.
Same. I still didn't know I never knew what was going on.
Never knew what was going on. I'm like, how is he offsides? What is that? Like,
I was just there to yell and talk trash.
I thought offsides was only in football. 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, I didn't know what was what. I was just there cheering on the homies and talking trash to the other team.
Exactly. So, your kids, they're not the average hockey fan. From what I know, most of them, like Trace, he doesn't even really watch sports too much.
No, none of my kids watch sports.
No, but when he goes to a hockey game, he's
all of them.
in.
All of them, from the oldest to the youngest. Hockey games they're just a good time. You know, just like me, they know when to cheer. If the puck goes in the net, then we get loud, or if the gloves come off, we get loud. You know what I mean? So Yeah, that's all we know. But I'm learning. I'm gonna educate them.
So when you go, obviously going with your kids, you check out the food.
You got to.
Got to. I mean, there's so many options too.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Do you have a favorite?
If I had to pick, I'm kind of old school. The pretzel hits every time. The pretzel with cheese hits every single time.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
No.
I'm sure you're chasing some beers down with it too. So.
Yeah. You gotta pick up a brewski, but the pretzels slap every time. Every time.
I think we talked a little bit earlier. You mentioned the ice cream slaps too.
Yeah, ice cream hits. The ice cream hits.
You kids get that often?
When I want ice cream, they get ice cream.
We get an ice cream.
Let's keep it real. Keep it real.
Let's keep it real. If I'm feeling ice cream,
Yeah.
they get ice cream. Until then,
If I want ice cream, then I know I can't just eat it.
Pretzel.
Yeah, I can't eat a bowl of ice cream in front of my kids. So if I want ice cream, then everybody gets ice cream.
Everybody gets it.
Yeah.
That makes sense. You can't just get that. Ice cream.
Yeah. Seriously.
You guys get them in the Spud Kings helmet or just the little guys?
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh man, they got Spud Kings collector's helmets. I got one
What?
upstairs. Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, that's going down next time for
Yeah.
sure.
They're really cool. They look like the yellow helmets with the Spud King logo on them, and they're upside down, filled up with the ice cream
Nice.
and all the toppings and stuff.
Yeah, I never even knew that. I just picked up a brand new Spud Kings beanie, so
Oh man, I got
be
me one,
rocking
too.
that.
They're fresh.
I'll be rocking that.
New stadium food. They got some new funnel cake fries.
Don't even, bro.
Dude, I haven't tried them yet. They've only been around for a couple games, but every time they're cooking them up, you can smell
You
them
can
through
smell
the
it.
whole
You
arena,
You
bro.
can taste it.
Yeah, you can almost taste it. You're like, I need some of them. But I'm usually working, so I don't really get it oftentimes.
I got you, bro.
So yeah,
I got
try
you.
them.
I got you.
Next time I have
I
you on the
got
show,
you.
you can tell us how they were.
Yeah, I'm gonna feed you while you're at work.
Dude, come find me.
Yeah, I
I'll
got
take a
you.
bite.
I got you. I'm gonna feed you while you're at work.
So you're not an average hockey fan, but you are now. You wasn't before. Would you recommend a Spud Kings game to anybody?
Anybody.
Because it's a whole vibe, right?
Yeah, and like I said, being born and raised here, there hasn't always been a bunch of entertainment. Here, there's been entertainment close by, but you always have to
Travel
like an
every time.
hour to
2,
3 hours to 4 hours to go do something like that. So to have this in our backyard, I mean, it's a blast. So I would absolutely take any guest from out of town or anybody to a Spud Kings game for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Like growing up, we went to Chuckers games and stuff because those were always a great time.
Yeah.
If we would have had the Spud Kings when we were young,
Yeah, I bet it'd be wild out here.
dude, could you imagine being a lifelong Spud Kings fan? So some of these young
I'm about
kids,
to be.
Yeah, both show. Both show. And some of these kids too, though. I see
Yeah.
some youngins at the games rocking gear, cheering on Carlson and all these boys, man.
Yeah, 100%.
It's going to be a great time. I hope they stick around forever because it's such a good time.
Absolutely.
So now I just want to promote you a little bit because you were so kind enough to come on to the show. What is it that you do for a living, man?
So I'm a licensed barber out here in Idaho Falls. Just opened up a new shop, the Neighborhood Barbers, 1170 East 17th Street. So yeah, I cut hair out here. I've been a licensed barber for just over 2 years. I have a partner, Emily, who brought me on. She's the ringleader. She is it, man. She's the head honcho. But yeah, she brought me on, and I am following her, man. She's got a dream. We share that dream. We want to be here. We want it to be an experience. So I cut hair out here.
And they love making people feel good, people. Like, you go in there for a fresh cut. Like, a haircut experience, for one, is awesome. But you go up in here to the Neighborhood Barbers and you visit Emily or Jimmy, and they do you up right, man. You could chop it up while getting chopped up. And you know what? If you like to have a cold one, they got one of those in the fridge for you, too.
Yes, sir.
So if you need a fresh cut, check them out. They're at 1170 East 17th Street. And if you want to book in advance, go to Bookseat. It's an app that you can download for your phone, and you can pick the Neighborhood Barbers, and you can pick any of the artists that they have there and any of the type of services they may offer.
Yeah, 100%.
Get done up right. Visit the Neighborhood
Come see
Barbers.
us. We want to see you. We want to see you.
They want to make you feel good.
Come
and
catch a
look
vibe.
good.
Come catch a vibe with us. That's all we ask.
1170 East 17th Street. That's on the corner of 17th and Ponderosa, right next to Outlaw Vapors. So
Yes.
thank you very much, Jimmie, for coming on the show. I appreciate you, my boy.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank
no
you for having me. My
problem.
pleasure, dude.
No problem. I just
Thank
wanted to
you.
give people an outlook of what it's like, because I know there's a lot of you out there that aren't hockey fans, and you're like, why should I go to a Spud Kings game? Jimmie is testament to why you should go. It's a whole vibe. You can take your kids. They have a great time.
Yeah.
Even if they don't know what hockey is, I guarantee they love what's going on. When we scored, the whole crowd gets rowdy. The kids get rowdier.
100%.
It's
100%.
awesome.
I
You
go
should
to
check
as many
it out.
games as possible, man.
Yeah. I hope you can come to more. Speaking of which, Thursday night, there are still tickets available. That game was supposed to be in Utah, but the Outliers are getting a new arena similar to what we had to go through a couple years ago. So that game is now here. Not to mention, I didn't tell you this earlier, it's T-shirt night.
Let's go.
First 750 fans through the door get a Spud Kings T-shirt.
Let's go.
By Wackerly Automotive. So get your tickets now, peeps. They will go fast. You know how fast these Spud Kings tickets go. There aren't very many available, period, for the rest of the season. This might be your only chance to come and see the Spud Kings.
Do it.
Do it. My boy Jimmie's going to be there.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm here for it.
All right. Thank you again, Jimmie, for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, my boy.
Yeah, no problem. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back right after this. All right. Welcome back, Spud Kingdom. Once again, I would like to thank my interviews that I had on the show today. Adam Brown, Liam, Filip. I really appreciate you guys taking the time after the big win and talk to me for just a moment. Appreciate everything you guys do for me. Eric Hudson, once again, thank you very much for giving me the time and the opportunity to speak with these boys. I can't wait to do it again in the future. They are awesome, outstanding young gentlemen, and it was awesome talking to them. Thank you again for Jimmie James to come on the show and giving us a ultimate fan experience, a firsthand experience. It's not just from me, from somebody else that goes to these games, somebody that isn't like a diehard hockey fan, somebody that just barely started liking hockey because of the Spud Kings. We really appreciate those stories, and I love those and love having those. Once again, this Thursday, we are going against Utah again here at Mountain America Center. This game was supposed to be in Utah, but it is now here because Utah is getting a new stadium. So there are plenty of tickets available. There's tickets upstairs and very nice seating where you can see everything. There's tickets on the glass available as well. There's tickets all over the arena. So if you haven't been to a Spud Kings game, this is your chance and opportunity. This is going to be one of the only chances all year, as most of the games are sold out or very close to it, and it's very hard to get season or any tickets that are even side by side. Most of them are just single seats. And if you do get there this Thursday night, remember the first 750 fans through the door get a free T-shirt, Spud Kings T-shirt, courtesy of Wackerly Subaru of Idaho Falls. First 750 only. So those do go quickly, so get there early. Doors open at 6 o'clock most of the time. So get there, get your free shirt. I want to thanks everybody for tuning in. You can find us on Facebook at the Spud Kingdom Podcast. We will have an Instagram coming soon. I still need to finish setting that up. I'm working on getting this on Apple and Spotify, but right now we're only on YouTube. So please hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, come back for more. We will do another one of these next week as we go over the games against Utah Outliers once again and the Pueblo Bulls. So thanks everybody for tuning in. I'm Kevin Woodrum. We'll see you next time. And as always, go Spud Kings.